Hi, my loves. Tarot with Joe here, and today I want to ask you about your New Year's resolution. How's it going? We're gonna do some fun, esoteric, philosophical, etymological hopscotch in this video. I really, really love the Judgment card. And Judgment is like always there when we're talking about New Year's resolutions, right? I should be skinnier. I should be with that person. I should be making this amount of money. I should not be doing that, and I should definitely not be doing that, but should, right? So every time there's the word should, we're in judgment. And what does judgment do? It lowers our awareness and it separates. But that's not the only thing that the judgment card is about. Judgment is about revelation. And it could be the last judgment in the Christian mystical frame of the Waite world, of the Rider-Waite world, or we could look at the Crowleyan Aeon card, which was his discovery in 1904 and how he created his whole mythology, which has to do with the coming of a new Aeon, which pretty much just means lots of fire and do it yourself. Two cool possibilities, or your own personal revelation. But what I'm really interested in with judgment is how it mirrors the word resolution. The word resolution has the Latin roots being like, I believe it was resolutio and resolvere, which mean to loosen or to break down into smaller pieces or smaller parts or to simplify. It's all of these ideas of softening, loosening, simplification. Great. So why in resolution do we feel like we're adding something? I actually believe that in most resolutions, you are breaking something down. You're breaking down a pattern, a habit, a trait, or an entire universe that you've built up around something. So whether you're literally breaking down fat because you want to lose weight for the new year, or you're breaking down an age-old, lifelong pattern of self-sabotage, you're removing something. You're taking this whirlpool and you're putting in enough effort so that that pattern stops and it can float and loosen and relax and soften into the rest of the waters and find stillness and find calm. Okay? What does that have to do with the judgment card? Well, you see, the judgment card is actually about breaking away and breaking into something larger and something that is actually simpler. See, the judgment card is the last moment where the personal consciousness can exist before it is reabsorbed into the entirety of cosmic consciousness, whether you call that Christ consciousness, God, existence, oneness, the Tao, whatever it is. This is the last stop. So I hope you enjoyed the ride, because after this we're going into the world card or the universe card, and there ain't nothing there. And that's because there is no separation. There's nothing there and there's everything there. So in this phase, what's happening is there is a breaking down of the illusion of separation, which is part of the thing that we've built up that we're trying to get away from. So whether it's that pattern, that psychological thing, that fear, that fat that you're trying to break down, that whatever it is, we are opening it, right? And allowing more possibility. Okay, so I want to talk about the intelligence that's connected with these cards. So in each card in Kabbalah, there's all these intelligences that are connected with the different paths, and the different paths make up the universe, pretty much, to simplify something very complicated. But the intelligence of judgment is perpetual intelligence. And in the Hebrew etymology, that word is connected to the word to stretch. And in this image, we're kind of seeing these bodies stretch out and reach for something greater. This angel, whether it be Gabriel or Metatron, that's up to you to decide, or your higher self. But they're stretching out of these coffins, which represent the 3D world. So they're stretching into the next dimension, into higher awareness, out of something that is fixed, or at least seemingly fixed. Same thing, similar idea in the Aeon card, where these resting babies are kind of being awakened into the new Aeon by Horus and all these other deities that are having a grand old time. Another thing with the Judgment card is that it's connected to the letter Shin. The Hebrew letter Shin means tooth, and the symbol here is that the tooth will break down what exists to digest it and to further soften and tear apart and break it down into its simpler forms, like our little etymology of resolution. It will resolve the matter, quite literally matter, but also the matter at hand, into something more digestible, almost simpler, almost less complex, almost more natural, your natural state. This is really what all this magical esoteric stuff is all about, and the whole alchemical process, you know? What I'm curious about right now is how we can reframe our minds to achieve our resolutions more easily by recognizing that there is a deletion of something or letting go of something. So, going back to the idea of losing weight, yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, that's funny. Like, you're losing weight, but like that makes sense on the literal sense. But like more deeply, it's like, oh, but then you have to go running and then you have to exercise and you have to do a program and time and effort. And oh my God, and I just want to sit, right? Yes. But could it be that the pattern before, the pattern that has lasted so much, was actually the thing you added to your consciousness? And that exercise is not so much an additive, but a natural state, because bodies want to move. Evolutionarily, psychologically, we're creative in our movement and we're lively in our movement, and it's part of our survival, and it's just fun. Bodies like to move, they like to do stuff. So could we say, instead of I have to work out X amount of times for my New Year's resolution, could we say I get to return to the natural state of my being, which includes this moment running, or this moment lifting weights, or this moment whatever it is for you. um Dieting is removing something. It's removing something that maybe has not agreed with you for a while. It's very important to recognize that there will be very sneaky judgments sneaking in all these little resolutions, right? They're going to show up. And so it's kind of your job to decide, is that a judgment or is that an awareness? Am I breaking down something that doesn't actually exist, that brought me to the moment to just hang with this awesome angel and now I can unify with something greater? Or am I just judging myself into another box? That's always the question. So let me know about your New Year's resolutions. Where are the judgments? What are you creating differently? What are you leaving behind? And in what ways could you be removing something that is actually distracting you from a true state of being? All right, much love. Talk soon. Oh, and if you'd like to work with me, you can reach me at tarotwithjoe@gmail.com or www.tarotwithjoe.com. Love to work with you. Sometimes I have a free session offer available, so check in with that and talk soon. Thanks.